Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm feeling really good.
And why are you feeling really good?
Because I just really like... Okay. Hi, guys, I'm Jen.
I'm Neal.
We talk about reality TV.
Yeehaw.
I'm a Canadian.
I'm from the US of A.
We're in a relationship.
Indeed.
Should we tell them about us?
Not right now. Yeah, I know you tease it almost every episode.
You know...
That's its own episode. This is
but
not.
you know I'm high when I'm like, let's tell them about us. Like, my ex-husband, that's another story, used to make fun of me by saying, ha ha ha, tell me more about me. Because there's nothing I love more than someone telling me a story about myself and how funny I was.
Still are funny.
Oh my God, thank you. See? Tell me more about me. That's not what this podcast is about, though, guys. It's about reality TV. This is going to be our reality roundup.
Recap.
I like roundup.
That's
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
That's the ice machine, if you can hear that. It's very warm here in this neck of the woods. We've been watching a lot... We've been watching a lot of Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team.
And we watched Sinners, which was amazing.
Believe the hype.
Yes.
It's as good as the reviews say. If you like horror at all, if you like movies
It doesn't really become a horror movie until like the last third.
No, but it has like a dark tone to
Yes,
it.
It's a good tension builder.
Yeah. Like, I felt uncomfortable even when I was comfortable. And I get it. I'm a straight woman. I get the Haley Steinfeld memes. I get it.
She's married.
Yeah, to a sport. Neal loves sports, guys.
To Josh Allen, they got married.
We're watching Destination X. We are so all over the place. We talk about reality TV. Lately, it has been all about Love Island. You guys love when we talk about The Devil's Plan. We will literally talk about anything. I take a gummy because I like the way it makes me feel.
I don't, so I don't take one.
And I don't know if he loves the way it makes me feel. We don't talk about it. I'm just kidding. You don't think I have a problem.
No, not at all.
This doesn't become therapy, does it?
You cannot take one if you don't want to take one.
Weed is legal.
Yes, or we wouldn't be exclaiming it.
I really want... This is what I was going to say at the beginning of the episode, which was only 3 minutes ago. Okay. We're on track. I really want to name the name of this edibles company.
Don't do it unless they're paying us.
We don't... Not enough people listen to us for them to pay.
Too bad. They don't get free things.
Oh, but it's so good. Not that I'm an expert. We probably can't support them anyway. I would have to look into... This is how much of a rule follower I am. I would have to look into the laws around ordering and stuff, because if they sent me something in the mail, would that be illegal? Like, are you allowed to send it through the mail? Like, can you order alcohol online?
Yeah.
I imagine you can, right?
Yeah.
It feels illegal, though, right?
Well, you can't...
Like, for edibles to show up at your door?
Well, you can't mail weed in the U.S. because it's a federal crime, still.
And mail is federal.
Yes.
So you can't even mail it, like... Say if we were in New York, where it's legal, could I order it online if it was locally, like if it was a New York shop?
I mean, again...
Because it has to go to a federal post office, right?
If it's legal in New York, an FBI dude could come and arrest you because it's still federally illegal for smoking it, so...
So how come we gave that power to the states to make it legal? That doesn't make sense. I'm stressed out now.
I don't know if that's the case in Canada. It might be.
It's not. It's federally legal.
Okay, so then,
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't federally legal.
Then it's fine to put in the mail in Canada.
We sell it at our grocery stores.
It's true. It's true. Little old ladies.
Not like literally. Not like you couldn't get it at the counter. We have a smoke shop attached to Loblaws. At least we do where I am in Canada. And they sell pre-rolls.
Yeah.
And probably just the flour, too. I've only ever smoked it twice. I felt something unlike anything I've ever felt before. I closed my eyes and no longer existed in the world. I have... Oh my gosh, this is really turning into a therapy session. We'll get to the point in a second. This is the segue. This is the opening. My favorite murder is like my favorite podcast. Judge me if you will on me watching true crime. I consume my media the way I consume my media, and you can't judge me for that. And I realize I'm putting myself on a platform where you can, in fact, judge me for that. But, like, I'm going to keep watching what I watch. I don't have to justify that, right?
No.
True crime is very controversial, though. I get it. To almost seek entertainment from someone else's tragedy, I get it. The complexity there is sick.
Okay, continue.
We're watching Destination X.
Yes. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I feel like most of you guys probably aren't watching it. It's a cable show. I don't know if it's that big. Heidi Klum was in this episode, though. We're watching the episode where they are in Germany. I feel like that's just the easiest way.
And everyone knows they're in Germany.
Yeah. Which, okay. We're going to get into this now. But we have to go back to our weed legalization conversation because I still have a lot more to say about that. But in case the kids want to hear about reality TV. Are you going into a food coma right now?
What are we talking
Okay, Mountain Dew.
Let's go. What are we talking about?
We're talking about Destination X. We're talking about what good players Janae and Peter are off the bat.
And we're going to get into my rant about game players versus people that have never been on these types of shows. After the first challenge, when Peter has a very good strategy, intentionally losing...
Which at first I was like, this dude's an idiot. You want to know... So basically the challenge was, you have all these suitcases. You have to open the suitcase and see some sort of memento and match it up to a country. This is basically what their preliminary challenge has been. Some sort of match the object to the country every episode. I think that works. It's a little low budget because it's on a bus, but I don't know how you remedy that if you were to have subsequent seasons, because how do you keep it from them without it being a bus?
Right. I think you just have to keep driving and driving in circles occasionally, like...
Flying?
Well, we'll see with the UK version, which is supposed to be a lot more difficult when it comes out.
Well, because here's the thing, and we said this, in order for this, and this isn't a slight at Americans, but Americans don't know anything about geography. Like, in general, North Americans don't know much about the world.
Yes.
Do you think that's fair to say? Don't know much about maps, don't know much about Europe or Asia.
Correct.
Can we say that? They don't know anything about the eastern half of the world.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to belabor it. I am a teacher, which is my favorite thing to tell you guys about, and I do not get to social studies is what we call it in Canada in the early grades when we talk about any sort of history or geography. I don't feel as bad in the grade that I teach, because in the grade that I teach, we specifically teach about the province we live in. I don't know if it's like that for every province, but in our province in grade 3, that's what we learn. And I feel like it's so easy to incorporate where you live into other conversations and other books and media and language arts projects. Now this is a teaching podcast. But you know what I mean? Like, I can get the kids to describe what winter looks like, or what climate looks like, or what spring looks like. Like, I can talk about the seasons and the changing seasons. Whoops! That was very scary. That scared all of us. We've been paused for so long now on television that the TV came back. Oh gosh, is this Girls Trip?
Back on track. Back on track.
This is a rerun where Bravo's on TV on the background. This is
Like the train from earlier in the episode, back on
New
track.
Jersey, Real Housewives of New Jersey. I see Melissa Gorga on the screen. That's all I know.
Wee woo.
I don't know how a second season of this would work, because if you're not choosing the Frankfurts or the Brussels, I know Brussels wasn't an actual place that they went, but if you're not choosing the Romes of it all, I don't think your average American could name the place.
Correct.
So the UK one could get a lot more specific, but also here's the thing. I know European countries are so super cultured and different cities are known for different things, but do your smaller cities have enough identifying features that you can match an object? Like, there was a record, and it was of a waltz. And first of all, Mac, the like state's attorney girl, is so smart. She knows so much about the world. Did she say that she studied before coming on this, or is she just inherently intelligent?
Well, she said she's bussed around Europe before, and yes, she has said that she studied very hard before coming on the show.
I think I would too. Well, this is why Peter is so good at it, because he's a pilot. He's like, well, the sun doesn't lie. Like, we're heading south right now. The sun doesn't lie. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. Like, following the stars, following the sun, following the moon, northeast, southwest. That is a skill.
Well, as a pilot, yes, that is something you would learn.
Well, that's incredible. He's a pilot, and Janae was an army brat growing up.
Yes.
So she moved around the country. She lived in Europe. She's a smart girl. So what happened in the first challenge was Jeffrey came on the intercom and said, pair up and label yourselves 1 and 2. And they thought that meant they would split up from their partner. And then he said, all the 1s are a team and all the 2s are a team. And you're competing against each other. Well, all of the, like, capable people, from their perspective, were on one team. So Rick, Biggie,
Mac,
and then Shane. And this whole episode is basically, let's talk about how dumb Shane is. They were like, we had Shane open the suitcases and pass us the things, and we placed them all. Like, basically, that's all he was good for, was the labor.
yes, and
That's so mean.
Pete came up with the idea.
Which I didn't like at first, but yes, okay, we're circling back.
So you had 9 things to match with 9 cities. And each team, the winning team would be told the correct clue, losing team would be told the red herring.
But you don't know if you've won or lost.
Yes, you don't know if you've won or lost. So Pete's idea was for both rounds to sabotage, don't get anything right, so they automatically got the wrong clue or the red herring. So you
know you lost. There's no doubt, because even if the other team tried their best and only got 1 right, you know you got 0 right.
Right.
But I said, what is the value in only knowing one place that you're not versus knowing where you definitely are? But now it's hitting me how much of a sure thing it is to leave nothing on the board, to not even try. You know the information you're getting is wrong.
Right. And because this
is the main thing,
in an alliance with Rick, who is going to tell them, hey, these are the answers that we got. Then he can confirm, yes, we've gone past Frankfurt. Yes, we've gone past Stuttgart.
But Pete is such a player, because even the way he phrased it to Rick was like he was doing it for Rick. He sat down and said, I got everybody to lose on purpose so we would know your clues were right. He didn't say so that we'd know the wrong place. He didn't say, like, when he was selling it to his team, he's saying, isn't it better to know where we're not? But to Rick, he's saying, I did it so that you and I would know yours is right. I did this for you. I did this for us. They're playing each other, but if they keep doing that, they should be able to stomp over the rest. Janae, Rick, and Pete should stomp the rest of this field.
Yes, and here's again, Pete's talking to, I always forget her name,
Allie?
Yes, Allie, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna tell Shane, aren't you?" And she's like, I might withhold."
Pertaining to, you're going to tell Shane that we threw it on purpose and that our clues
and then
are bad.
Janae's like, "Oh, she's gonna tell him," and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell him."
Right, because I would too.
And then Pete's like, "Hey, this
like, I'm gonna tell you."
Yes, but he's like, you don't have to tell people things. Like, this is a competition, and she got so offended by that. And this is my thing. It goes back to Traders, and I mean, Traders is this is now another example. People they play with emotion if you're not a gamer like Pete. This is a game with no emotion. The older woman is playing by herself, and she's actually like a game player, but she's like
a private investigator.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be with anybody, which is crazy. But, like, if I'm
she's being very upfront about that, so then you can't get mad when she doesn't reveal anything she finds out. She's not expecting anything from you, but don't expect anything from her.
Right.
I think that's a strategy.
But a lot of the people are like, I'm seeing how Pete's playing. I don't want to be involved with him. Like, no, you should be begging to be with him.
Absolutely.
Like, he's getting all the information. It's crazy to me that people just like, again, once you lose your first season, then if you go back to some, like, let's say she magically gets an invite to Traders, then she'd probably be a gamer and actually take emotion out of it.
I'm really glad you brought up that point. I think you're so right. Once you've had a taste of it.
Yes.
Yeah. It should change. Even if it doesn't change how you play, it still changes your awareness, your understanding of the game. Even like
Biggie and Rick,
they're already playing.
Last episode with what they did to Janae, or not Janae, with what they did to the girl Ty when they set a trap for her
because they had to.
Yes, and she walked right into it. So like, it pays off to be a game player. Allie wouldn't have done that. She would have just told.
So then this begs the question: should this? I know this is the first season of this show. What is that called? The introductory season? That's not what they call it. It's in its infancy.
Yes.
It's not a sophomore.
Right.
It's its freshman. Anyway.
But
should it have been a cast of all reality TV people? You could find enough reality TV gamers that would be willing to stay on a bus and travel around Europe if it meant money.
I think
you have people from the challenge who'd be willing to do it.
I think there's a problem with that. Because
depends on how long they film for.
I don't think this, like you said, I don't think there can be a second season of this. So it makes me...
You're not going to have enough identifiable places.
Right. And you can't really do it anywhere else in the world.
You could do it statewide, but
unless you did it in the U.S., which...
Boring.
Yes.
I'm glad they didn't start with that. That would have been quite lackluster.
I think it would be a lot better with all gamers. Because I'm bored of Allie. I'm bored of... are there even any, like...
I'm impressed by Kim.
Well, yeah, but she's being a gamer. The beginning
but she's gaming too hard for them, which brings up the point. Like, she... So they sat around with Jeffrey. I love that he is a present host. I will say that, coming from Love Island, where we only see Ariana once, like, every 5 episodes. He doesn't just come for the elimination, like, he comes for the challenges. They sat around and they all had baskets. They were in, like, a Hansel and Gretel type place. We've seen Snow White. So, like, we super know that we're in Germany. I'm glad they stopped trying to hide that, because I feel like in the first episode they didn't immediately acknowledge the country. And it's like, come on, guys. We know the country.
But it's different because Germany is so massive.
But you can still only name 2 or 3 cities.
Oh, I mean...
Like, some of the cities they named that they're not by. What was the name of the second one? Not Frankfurt, but the other one?
That they're not by?
No, that they are by.
Stuttgart?
I've never heard of that. Stuttgart?
Hanover, Dortmund. There's a lot of... I bet people know a lot more German cities because the Bundesliga is so popular.
You think because of soccer?
I think that's one of, like...
Damn, I think you're right. I gotta get a drink.
But going back, the beginning of the season, it was really apparent that none of these people were gamers.
Yeah, really glad they brought in Pete and Janae.
Because if they didn't, I think this would have been a very lackluster show.
Me too. But now this does swoop around to my other point, that how mad are you if Allie and who's she kissing? What's his name? Shane. That everyone thinks is dumb. Who everyone thinks is dumb. If they work together and somehow get Peter out, how mad are you at that? That they're just doing that based on emotions, but it's not really emotions, because what they're going to say to us is, he's such a strong player, we have to get him out.
I think one of the two of them are going home. I think they focus so much on her and calling Shane an idiot.
But answer my question. How mad would you be if Pete goes home because he's such a good player, we need to get him out?
I would be very surprised because he knows where they are compared to... But
I'm saying pretend it happens. How mad are you? You're so literal.
Oh man, I don't like if they they have to pull a good game move to get him out.
In order to get rid of him. At this point, that's true. That's fair. I just think like he was on Traitors and he played hard on Traitors, and Traitors is another example of the show, the best example of a show where you have normies on it too.
The problem with the Traitors is there can be so many more normies than gamers that they basically just outnumber you and you're screwed.
But that's the thing is, I think if Pete was on with all gamers and he was playing this hard, there still wouldn't be such a target on his back, because you would have other players playing just as hard.
Right.
Which brings me to the basket challenge. So the basket is, what's in their basket is going to decide if they are either A, going into the map room, that is how many?
3.
3 poison apples, 3 baskets, so they're like wicker baskets, picnic baskets, have poison apples in them. 3, right, have cookies?
Yes, because then 2 have mirrors.
And cookies are just safe. They don't mean anything, but you're not going into the map room. And then
you're not, for the moment, going into the map room.
Oh, really? Oh, so you don't
No one is safe in the end. It's just 3
it's just this round that are definitely good. I'm glad they do that. I'm glad they do multiple, because really, when this season started, you and I both discussed whether everyone should go into the map room.
No, 5 out of the 8 are going into the map room.
Which I think is a good number. I think not enough were going in at the beginning of the season. Like, less... When you have 12 people and it's less than half, fewer than half going in, that's not enough. And I get that once you get up to, like, the 8 or 9 range, they all have the same information. Their X's are going to be, like, in the same place. So it's more difficult to say who loses, I guess. That's another problem with this game, is that who gets it the closest and what do you judge it on? Like, do you have coordinates that you're saying this is the exact?
Oh, yes.
And they click and whatever, it generates a list of coordinates with a code?
Yes. I mean, they'd have to do that.
You can't just judge it based on your eyeballs?
No, you probably...
Are they making them judge it based on their eyeballs, or do you think they get the latitude and longitude on the map? Do we see?
They can zoom in very far.
It does seem like it, right?
Yeah.
You are? Okay, sorry. I just think you're so beautiful right now.
Let's continue.
It's actually distracting. Okay.
So the 2 people that... Everyone has either cookies, mirrors, or apples. 3 apples, 3 cookies, 2 mirrors.
And you go around the room. Well, they're not in a room. You go around the circle and you say what you have, but you can lie.
Yes.
No one can see your basket but you. So, if you're a one-dimensional gamer, which is what I'll call Rick, what you really have at the beginning is a poison apple, and what do you say that you have?
A mirror.
Because you know someone is going to be stupid enough to take your poison apple thinking it's a mirror.
Yes.
And who does that?
Allie.
Allie takes Rick's quote-unquote mirror. It's a poison apple. Boom.
Yes, and then Rick takes Kim's poison apple that she says is a poison apple. that ends up being a poison apple. And Rick's item that he got from Allie that now Kim has is a poison apple. So he touched all 3 poison apples.
Amazing. That's why I wanted to talk to you guys. That's such bad luck. And how did Kim outplay him? She fully outplayed him. She had a poison apple and said it was a poison apple.
She just said she double bluffed it.
Why would anyone take it from you if you're saying it's a poison apple?
Because you think she's just bluffing and saying
Would you have done what Rick did, or would you have done what she did? I would have done what Rick did.
I would have
called my poison apple a mirror.
It depends on how people viewed me. If I was playing by myself and everyone like knew that I was gaming on my own, I would say I had a poison apple.
Damn, really?
Because they think you're such a gamer that you definitely don't have a poison apple.
Because you would never risk yourself. She was ready to really go into the map room.
Yes.
She was ready for no one to take her apple from her. But
she
Rick
is.
friggin' did.
And it didn't matter.
Because she took from... No, how did she end up with Allie's basket? Oh, because Rick traded with her.
Yes.
So, Allie is really the one I want to get to. She lied and said she had cookies, so no power... But not immediately into the map room.
Yeah, this didn't make...
But she really had an apple. Is that just bad gameplay?
Yes.
Who the hell's going to take your cookies?
She's not a good player. I think we've talked about this. Yeah. It didn't make any sense. Or do you think
someone will take it because they want to be safe?
But
you
no,
want to claim you have the most valuable thing, don't you?
You'd go big or you'd go home going for the mirror.
Right, so did she play too hard, like... Was she thinking too much or too little? Maybe don't answer that. That's a little bit mean. Gaming too hard or too little? You think too little.
I don't think she knew what to do.
Janae had the mirror, said she had the mirror. No one took it from her. She kept the mirror. That's good gameplay. Being honest about having the mirror when you think people don't trust you. They're not going to take your mirror. Except Allie.
And Max said she had the mirror and she had the mirror. So...
I would have played that. If I had the mirror, I would have said that. Or would I have said I had the apple? Gosh. I can't decide.
I'd have to be in the moment.
I think so, too.
And see how people perceived me.
Yeah, it's difficult to say from the outside. Hey, cool. Oh, this show has me again now.
And Mac and Janae got to go to the forest and meet Heidi Klum.
Well, she was there in like a mirror, like Snow
and basically said they get to pick 2 people to go to the map room. And they chose, well, initially they said they wouldn't pick each other, but we haven't gotten past.
Which is actually why I wanted to come podcast. I think Mac is incredibly smart, right?
Right. So is this your chance to take a shot at her? But then you turn her into an enemy, blah, blah, blah.
No. Opposite. I don't know how socially adept she is. I think right now, Janae says, I will protect you if you protect me. If Janae does this, I think she's got a loyalty from Mac for the duration of this game. Okay. Unless she really messes it up. I think she can genuinely win over Mac's favor right now. And a little bit of that is it my millennial self thinking it's because Mac's nerdy and Janae's the pretty girl. And it's like when the pretty girl likes you, you're like, oh, the pretty girl likes me.
Well, I'm just happy it's not a remove somebody and swap somebody else in.
When you were pretty confident it was going to be send people in, I was thinking in my brain, what if it's save people? And I think that would be annoying.
Yes. Make 5 people go in.
Yeah.
So you probably send in... Oh, no, Allie's already going in. Shane, I think they're going to send in Shane. Well, no.
Yeah, so then one of them definitely
you keep
goes.
Shane because you think
stupid.
he's an idiot. So
Janae's like, he's smarter than he looks. And then she backtracks. She says, not that he looks stupid, but just he's smarter than he looks.
But then Janae is supposedly... No, she's not with Biggie. So maybe you do send in Biggie and you send in...
I think you have to send in someone good, and you can't send in Rick because you're Janae, and you can't turn your back on Rick this early.
Rick's
He's too dangerous for that. Oh, you're right.
So
right.
you only have
right. You're
3
limited.
people to choose from.
Kim is going in. Who's going in? Kim is going in. Rick is going in.
Allie's going
and
in.
Allie's
so
going in.
Shane,
3
Biggie,
dummies.
Mac.
Oh, Shane's definitely going in. And yeah, Big E.
But there's also...
Janae's not going to do Pete.
Pete, yes, he's the other one. Okay, so Mac would be the one that would have to pick Pete.
And Janae would have to be like, there was nothing I could do about it. Then I think he would remember that from Janae, I think.
Yeah, but...
He holds a grudge, I think.
I mean, who does... the older lady. Kim. She is the only one that doesn't have all the information.
So you think as long as she goes in, she's going home regardless? It doesn't matter.
No, I think she has the least. Her and I don't know if Allie knows everything. I mean,
yeah, you really. I gave her respect earlier in this episode for saying like good for her for playing alone but owning it, but like the Devil's Plan. You really can't play alone.
Right.
The games are just built to be social. Having more information is more valuable. Having more resources is more valuable. It's like Settlers of Catan. If you have better resources, you're just at such an advantage.
And her not telling him her answer...
sets yourself up for we give you nothing. We're going to bring you nothing. She could have at least lied.
She didn't... Yes, well...
get something out of them.
She doesn't have any of the cards.
Right.
So, okay, you have a city that's like northeast that you know you're not going towards.
Big deal. So then how did she let Pete convince her to play the game that way? Now she just seems like she's grumping along. Now she's making me mad.
She grumps every episode. If Rick has any success, she's mad.
So, but this is the thing. I think you need people in this age group. Are we mad that there are people in their 50s on this game?
No.
Are we being ageist? We want to be able to do reality shows when we're 50. 50's young.
50's the new 40.
Heck yeah, it is.
But we should get back to watching.
Okay, I still have food to eat.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about MasterChef.
I was thinking The Ultimatum, Queer Love.
We'll get to both of them.
Or should that be its own episode? We'll see.
Yeah.
Have we watched MasterChef?
The one last week. We just haven't. I wanted the team one. I want to talk about the team one.
Well, you're going to have to really highlight that one because where's my head at? Where's my head at?
Yes.
Okay, guys, we'll be back. Oh, did you hear that? It sounds like Neal doesn't have time for me today. Okay, I'll cry about it later. Bye! Okay, hi, we're back.
The dust.
We're finished the episode. What a huge clue Jeffrey gave us at the end of the episode.
For where we're going after Germany.
What'd he say?
I'll be back.
So obviously...
And a bunch of strong men competing, so it's Austria. Which is the direction that they're going.
So again, like, name a place in Austria.
That one place.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know where my phone is, but there's got to be at least 2 recognizable places.
Wait, isn't Austria in Hungary? Austria-Hungary? No.
No.
Am I just naming 2 different countries?
Because it's the southern right part of Germany.
Is there a cat?
There's a cat up there.
Who is it?
It's Luna. She's coming back down.
Oh, we love when we get her visit.
We lost our lone wolf, Kim, who had no idea where they were.
Which just proves that you cannot play this game on your own. You won't gather enough information.
She had the right idea. She picked Frankfurt, which, again, if she would have gotten the clues from the other team, she'd know that they
were already away from that.
Which then, it blew my mind because
Allie
and Shane went to the map room, and they put theirs near Stuttgart, which Shane knew that they had gone through Stuttgart.
And so did she.
Because he told her, yes. So he logically should have thought...
if you're through it, you're not in it anymore.
You're not going back. So she realized her mistake after she put it in and said, I should have gone with Munich.
Right.
And of course, Rick and Pilot Pete knew exactly where they were. So it's crazy to me that Frankfurt and Munich are only 170 miles apart, which is less than 3 hours of driving. So, like, me from Chicago, I'm thinking, Oh my gosh, that's just like driving to Milwaukee. It's an easy 2.5, 3 hour drive.
Yeah, but also you could stay for 3 hours in your state. But I mean, you could also stay for 3 hours in Germany.
Oh man, if I drove 3 hours south, you'd probably be nearing Springfield or a little before Springfield at that point, which like, don't go to Springfield. But yeah, they're really not going to be able to do this again unless they just do the same, like a different order, the same places. They didn't really hit Spain and go to Portugal, right? They took a right and went to the Netherlands. And you could, I guess, then go into like Norway and Sweden and...
You know where couldn't do this?
Literally anywhere else.
Americans couldn't do this in Canada. You guys don't know anything about our geography.
That's true.
We only have 13 provinces and territories. It's not that many. Name them. Name them.
We're not
Name
quizzing me right now.
Name them.
Under pressure, no way.
100% in order.
I'm not doing an order.
Do you hear how preposterous that sounds? It's only 10 provinces in a row.
I'm under pressure. British Columbia.
Okay, are you starting on the West Coast? Are you locking in?
British Columbia, Northern Territories.
Okay. Northwest, but okay.
Northwest Territories, yes. Alberta.
Damn, good job.
And then did I say Ontario already?
Ontario, you have 2 provinces to name before Ontario.
Well, we're not doing that anymore. Newfoundland, Labrador.
Okay,
Prince Edward Island.
Okay.
How many am I at? Nunavut.
You're missing like fully 6.
Stop. If you keep laughing, I'm not going to do it.
You're missing like some... You're missing 2 that I would expect Americans to miss. And then you're missing 2 Atlantic provinces that I would expect Americans to miss. You got Prince Edward Island, so you get a lot of points for that, actually.
Manitoba.
Good job. Manitoba. You're still missing a really big one.
Yukon.
That is physically big. That is not what I meant, but that's hilarious. Good job.
How many am I at?
You are missing 2 of the Atlantic provinces and 1 of the Western provinces and then 1 of like the main provinces that are like right in the middle. Eastern time zone, like people go and visit there. They have their own identity and you literally haven't mentioned them yet.
Quebec.
There you go.
Right. Because I was thinking...
So like Canadians would be able to do this in Canada and it'd be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of all the objects that would represent Canadian things. Putin.
Stop.
Did you see that video? That was a TikTok of someone at a festival in Montreal.
Newfoundland,
and it was
Labrador,
food, like food huts, food trucks.
Prince Edward Island. Then... Is Quebec touching?
It like goes down, yeah.
And then Ontario.
No, but yeah.
So then what's above?
You're missing 2 of the Atlantic provinces.
What are the 2 Atlantic provinces that I'm missing?
They both have 2 words, and they both start with N.
Nova Scotia and New Brunswick.
Good job! Oh, you can get it with clues. Excellent.
Did I get all of them?
No, you're still missing
What does it start with?
S.
Saskatchewan.
There! Right. Oh my gosh, you named them all. How stressed are you right now?
Well, it's confusing me because I'm trying to place them in a map in my head.
Now I'm going to give you a piece of paper and you need to write them all down.
If you gave me a map of Canada, I might be able to do it.
There's no way in hell. You wouldn't be able to
if I
discern
gave you
what
the 50
Atlantic...
states, you wouldn't be able to do the Northeast.
Yeah,
you would. You wouldn't be able to do the Midwest where it's all nameless states.
There was a point in time where I used to do an American map puzzle and get 50 out of 50.
Okay.
Honestly, I'd probably maybe get 10. 10.
Like
10 on a good day.
Montana, Nebraska. Those are... I might not be able to do Nebraska.
Well, like, you say that, but do you realize for the average person outside of America, once they've placed, say, Texas and California and Florida, they got nothing.
I know.
Like,
I hope
nothing.
everyone will be able to get Maine at least.
No.
Okay, no
That's
Maine.
way too much to ask, honestly.
Then Vermont and New Hampshire, you have to figure out which one is which.
No, not even... People don't even remember those places exist. New Hampshire? Ain't no one on the other side of the world naming New Hampshire. That's not even going to come to their minds.
Delaware?
No, what's that? You have to understand.
Rhode Island?
Maybe because Taylor Swift owns a $50 million house there.
And that, yeah.
No.
No.
Whatever else you were going to say, that's not why we know it. We know it because of Taylor Swift.
Scotia, New Brunswick.
You got them all now. Anyway.
Because Saskatoon is the capital of Saskatchewan.
Look
right?
at you naming capitals.
Okay. You know what also helps?
Actually, isn't it Regina?
Oh, well, that's where all the hockey players are from, so probably. What helps is the...
Wait, is that Manitoba? Regina. Oh my god. I'm not Canadian.
What helps is the intro video for Air Canada. Safety video where they go to each province.
Oh, that just proves how much he visits me.
Is Yellowknife the capital of Yukon?
Yeah.
There we go.
Or no, Northwest Territories.
Whichever part.
One of the... Again, I don't know, but yes, Yellowknife. Oh. Is that where they were doing yoga on a mountain?
No,
This is stupid safety
Yellowknife.
video. The horses? No, that was Manitoba.
Okay. Well, we'll know.
I visited you lots too.
We'll know in like a month.
Oh god, I hate airplanes so much.
At least we'll have 2 flights instead of 3.
Did you hear that? Do you hear how we're supposed to be happy about that? I hate traveling.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. That's the worst. I'm gonna look for a house closer to an airport and we're gonna move.
This is really close to an airport for what we could, or where we could be.
That makes me want to throw up. But you right, though. Hey, guys. I think Neal wants to talk about MasterChef.
Yeah, we'll just go through MasterChef real quick. We had the first team competition for our duos, and it was we're in a port, and we're cooking for fishermen and their families, and...
Oh, I forgot.
About the team competition?
Yeah.
And
I was thinking back to the meat episode.
No, this was the team competition. Nobody got eliminated, but the losing team on the next episode is doing the dreaded pressure test.
Yay!
And the winners from the meat competition got to pick the teams. And they picked all the people that have been in the top 3. And so everyone was like, oh, there's too many voices. They're not going to succeed, and they blew out the blue team with all the stragglers.
Yeah, if you're just way better cooks, it is what it is. Also, if you're the most dominant personalities, that's what you need. Yeah, it's good to have someone who can take your lead, but there were really some, uncertain people on the other team.
And they were the ones in charge. So, they kept running into issues, they were going to make sweet potato fries that all were the same uniform, and Gordon comes up and he's like, you have 102 or 101 families to feed, there's no freaking way. And then they were like, all right, we're gonna make chips, and they were all soggy and gross, and they're like, we're gonna do onion rings, and then they went through so many iterations of their starch, it was ridiculous. They got crushed.
And I think that's what frying them. I think she's the one that passed out, right?
Yes, one of the MasterChef Junior contestants just straight up like slurred her words.
Like really, you could hear her say like try to get 2 sentences out. It was complete gibberish, and then she fully fell to the ground. I mean, she didn't brace herself. She fell to the ground.
It's a good thing they had like that mesh.
It looked like pavement to me.
I think they had a custom like rubbery. It was still hurt, yes. But,
I'm pretty sure it was pavement.
But yeah,
the conditions were bad. Like at one point, it started storming, raining.
Yeah.
Neal's body can't take it when there's a temperature drop or like a significant differential.
Like yesterday, before I took an allergy pill, we went from what was it yesterday, the day before? We went from like upper 80s to me going outside the next morning and it was like 40 degrees.
Like cold.
And then my allergies went crazy.
That is weird.
And it just, if I have these sudden drastic changes, it really messes with me. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck?
Which, like, growing up in Chicago, that didn't help because that's what it's known for. But
and now you live somewhere where it's like, that's our all the time.
Yes, but the red team won handily. I don't think they really made many mistakes. They really focused on the
What
blue
did they
team.
make?
I
don't remember either's
Didn't
main.
they make a taco? And the other,
theirs the fish taco?
Theirs was the fish tacos, and the blue team was like a sandwich. And like, I don't know. I don't think it wasn't salmon. It was just like a fish sandwich, and it didn't, to people it didn't like it. And
that's the one, Joe was like, why don't you put an onion ring on it? When, like, that wasn't what it needed at all.
Right.
Like, it already was, like, fried
when
and
Joe
heavy.
was going to the crowd and asking him, like
they needed lettuce or something.
Who liked what better? The first table was like, oh, we love blue. And then the next, like, 5 tables he went to were unanimously red.
Yeah.
So they're going to the dreaded pressure test next week.
Which me and Neal have been talking about how they've been like teasing it, but it hasn't been coming. And it's like, well, first we excused it away with, well, there are too many people, but you can pick as many losers as you want. You could say the bottom 6 teams are competing in a pressure test. You could have done that anytime.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they finally done it. I'm glad it was high stakes when it's a whole team versus a whole team, and I'm glad it's a whole team going into a pressure test. I think that's a successful reintroduction.
I don't like that it's going to be the whole episode.
Oh, definitely.
So that basically,
if you're going to do that, then you need to come on twice a week.
It just basically makes it its own episode. Like, you just have 5 teams left. Like it,
right? Which would be fine if we were binging it, but we are reality TV watchers as they goers.
Yeah. So
we pay for cable, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they. And a side note that I observed, they're in Australia this season. They're at
allegedly.
They are in Australia. They're at the MasterChef Australia filming location with the set. But every time they've done, like, when they talk to the tables, none of the fishermen were Australian. Like, they were all...
Because I think you're just making it up that they're filming in Australia.
Hey, Alexa. You're not plugged in, gosh darn it.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, no.
Hey, Alexa, where is MasterChef Dynamic Duos filming?
From Purav.com. Filming takes place in a custom-built production kitchen located in the San Fernando Valley, California. By the way, I can help you shop early Prime Day deals.
No, thank you.
Okay.
No.
To get
Alexa, stop.
Okay, so she gave the general one, but they are actually in Australia this season.
That was a lot of trouble to not prove your point.
If you knew, Gordon has basically gotten rid of his USA-based production company and has gone back to Europe, so they're scaling back.
That's crazy.
Yes, so...
But also, you know what? Why?
It's cheaper to film in Australia. Probably more tax breaks.
So cheaper to fly all the people over. Yeah, because I mean, that's pittance. Like, for me, a plane ticket is expensive. For a production company, that's one of your cheapest costs. Like,
Yeah.
$1,000, big deal. That's what someone spent out to lunch the other night.
Think of how much money they're going to spend less on groceries with the deals that they're probably getting.
Right?
To fill the pantry.
Like, and to feed, I was even thinking, like, to house them and feed them while they're there. Like, to take care of these humans.
Yeah, so...
Wow, that is such a good point. I want to work in TV so bad.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about The Ultimatum, or we too...
I think The Ultimatum needs its own episode. We finished the season, Ultimatum Queer Love, second season of it. I had a lot of thoughts. I hope as time goes on, between now and when we film it, I still have those thoughts. If not, I'll have to, like, rewatch it, or we just won't talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to rewatch it, so... It's not a rewatchable show.
It's not. And I think I'll remember my points.
Not like Devil's Plan. We're going to get Devil's Plan out this week. This may even come out after the final episode.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Promises.
It's just a disappointing end to the season.
But then we have to remember that it means we get to go back and watch season 1. Which, like, honestly, we could do anyway. We make the rules.
Yes.
But... okay, guys, thanks for listening. Please share, please subscribe, please rate, please review, please comment.
Do all the things.
I think I named them all.
I think you did.
Hey, guys, we really like talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.